The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show. Hello. Oh my goodness, here we are, the start of another week. Thank each and every one of you that are joining in. Yes, this is my first show. You are live with Cards on the Table Radio with Queen V. Yes, Cards on the Table Radio with Queen V. And if you are joining me and you are at the sound of my voice, I hope that all is well with you. Happy Motivational Monday to each one of you. Yes, I said Motivational Monday. I named it Motivational Monday because it's the beginning of the week. The weekend has ended, and for those of you, maybe you have worked this weekend, or those of you may have partied, you know, Monday is the hardest day of the week, I feel, to get up, because you're so used to the weekend, and you're just used to relaxing or whatever you did, and then all of a sudden here comes Monday, the beginning of the work week, and you're kind of sluggish, and even a cup of coffee won't do. So happy Motivational Monday to you. If you're out there, I hope that you did something motivational, or if you haven't, I hope that you will attempt to do something in the future to be motivational. Not only just Monday, but every day. Today for Motivational Monday, I got up and yes, I drug myself out of bed and I exercised, I walked, I made a promise to myself to get my cardio up, so I couldn't make it to the gym. So I do what I encourage everybody else to do. If you can't make it to the gym, or if you don't have any money to go to the gym, just get up, just start walking. So I started walking. I didn't track how far that I walked, but I did walk a pretty good ways. I put my music in. I was listening to I had downloaded some good music. I had Taylor Dane and Cyndi Lauper, Pat Benatar, the Eagles. Yeah, I took it back, and I just really enjoyed myself, and I put a post up on my Facebook page, and I was putting down different groups that I was listening to and the songs, and I see that I took a few people back as well. A lot of people didn't understand who I was talking about with Cyndi Lauper and Benatar. I told them, I said, Google it. You know, that's for me, that's the days when music was good, when you can actually understand the music, when music actually had a meaning, you know, not smack her in the face, kick her down the stairs, you know, nothing like that. Or like I'm exaggerating just a tad bit about the music today, but that's when music actually had a meaning. When you can actually say, I love you, and it actually meant something through a song. Like right now, the way some of the songs are set up, and I listen to some of the music that some of my kids listen to, and it's like they're mumbling. It's like what? And it's like, oh my God, how do you understand what they're saying? And I'm really challenging them, the kids these days, to actually say what the artist is saying. You know, I guess if it has a good beat, they're listening to it, because I just don't see the meaning in a lot of the music that is being played today. I want to thank you again for joining in radio show. I want to shout out Angie's Travel. Specializes in travel abroad and different vacations, and also specializes with people with disabilities. Yes, Angie's Travel at 631-935-6065. Thank you, Angie's Travel. Angie's going to be handling that I have traveling abroad. I'm going to be going to Uganda, and I'm going to be taking some other people with me on a missionary trip, and also a benevolence trip to help others. It was brought to my attention that there were women that were lacking the proper hygiene articles that they needed. So when it came to my attention, it really just struck a chord in my heart that I had to try to do something to help somebody else out. A lot of times we just go through life and we worry about ourselves or our immediate families, when if we all had a mindset, or we tried to have a mindset where when we can help others, that we do. Not that, I'm saying that you always can help somebody, but when you can, it'd be a good thing to help others. So Angie's helping me orchestrate a trip going to Uganda. So I am preparing myself and getting myself ready. I furthest I left out of this country, I have been to Jamaica. I've never been over to Africa, so this will be definitely something new and something different for me. Today I have and also you have the honor and privilege of listening to one of my co-hosts. Her name is Towanda Jackson, and she's going to be joining us shortly. She is on Chicago time, so for them, it would actually be about 6:09 in Chicago, and she's going to be joining me in a few minutes, and we're going to be talking about different topics that's going on. I was watching the news and seeing where, the continuation, for those of you who've been watching, those of you that care to watch what was going on with Bill Cosby and all of the controversy surrounding him, and different people that have been speaking out about the verdict, from the juror that spoke out today and why he thought Bill Cosby was guilty. And he was a young gentleman, and the way he was talking about how the evidence was presented, and everything else, and said that you had to be there in the room when they were deliberating to actually come up with that guilty verdict. That if you had been in that room, that you would have definitely said that Bill Cosby was guilty as well. Also, the Me Too movement is really, really, really strong right now. I mean, it's making waves, and it's taking down, and it's not only taking down, it's taking out a lot of the celebrities that have been named by different actresses or aspiring actresses or singers or other women that are complaining about being sexually harassed. Going to talk about the question of, is Me Too, and I want you guys to think about it. Is the Me Too movement, is it too late? As far as, should something have been said earlier? Why now? 20 years, 30 years afterwards, when these men have reached the pinnacle of their career. And in Bill Cosby's case, him being 80 years old or 83 years old, with his age, and it being brought up now as opposed to when he really was at the pinnacle of his career with the Cosby Show. It makes one wonder, as to why the things weren't brought up then, and why it's actually allowed to be relevant 20, 30 years later, and that it make a mark. We have Matt Lauer, Harvey Weinstein, and the list is going on and on and on. I think now Tom Brokaw. There's so many people that are being named in this, and these men have very, very prestigious and established careers. And one part of me thinks about it, can you come 10 years or 15 years later and say that they harassed you? And if you're the man that's being accused, and in this case, it may have been consensual. In a lot of cases, it may have been consensual. And now maybe these women have a vendetta. These men are married and have good lives. Their kids are growing up, it's disheartening because it's destroying the family structure. Right now, if you got kids that are still in school and they're used to the parent being there, both parents being in the home, and now all of a sudden it's a broken home and mommy and daddy are at each other, and maybe if the kids are of age where they can watch television, so they're on the television and they're actually seeing their parent flash across the screen or something like that, or with the power of social media, maybe somebody texting them something if they're of age, or to me, that's all that you're seeing right now. So I'm kind of on both sides, I guess, if you can say. One part of me is, questioning whether some of these women have any validity to their stories. And another part of me is, you know, did these men actually do the things that they're accused of? Now, a great number of men flirt. Yes, they do. They do flirt. But sometimes I think that flirting can be taken the wrong way. Like these women are actually saying they're sexually harassed because maybe a man say, "Wow, you look real good in that dress, and you look damn good in that dress." They're taking it far beyond the scope of what the men are saying. So my thing is, I'm not really seeing two men stand up and defend themselves. Is it that they feel like they're being defeated by what's going on? The only one that I've seen that really stood up and has been acquitted of his charges. Well, there's two people. Actually, I know in the African American community, I'm going to speak about this again once Towanda signs in, is Russell Simmons and now Rock Omari is the actor from Empire. And once he was just acquitted of his charges. So now it's like there's small victories to me for these men, but at what cost? The damage has already been done as far as, their name being highly publicized as being an abuser. And, some people are hard hearted. Like once you're accused, that's it. You're accused and you're tried and you're convicted all at one time without even being brought before a jury, without even going to the courtroom. It seems like now that when you are accused, like, okay, he did it. He looks like he did it. I know he did it. And then that's it. So if the man didn't do it, they're already convicted. So in that scope, I did see two men actually be vindicated of their charges. But, at what cost now? With the situation with R. Kelly. Wow. That in itself, that has been going on for years. And I seen that it was Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift said something about that, and she said that she wished that her record label would get rid of R. Kelly, like they would drop R. Kelly. And then I guess it was she had tweeted it, and did she erase the tweet? But once we know that there are people that get paid to watch pages. So once you tweet something, or once you post something, or put something on Instagram, whether it be a picture, or whether you just post something up there, that there's somebody immediately that's getting paid thousands of dollars to watch your page. So where you think you may have deleted something, no, you didn't, because it's still there. So it's like she tweeted that, and somebody got hold of it, and then they brought it out, and then they asked her, "Why did you erase that tweet? Are you scared because you spoke out?" And now it's created a firestorm. It's created a firestorm across social media. I'm seeing it on I'm seeing it on the on social media now. I'm seeing it on the news now, where she brought that up, and it was brought to the attention of the sponsors of R. Kelly, brought to the record labels. I've yet to see how this is going to play out. It's very, very interesting to me as to why something hasn't been done before about this, and exactly what's going on, because with the situation with R. Kelly, he was accused years ago, and this was with Aaliyah, the young singer Aaliyah, that has passed on, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. She was a very talented artist, and that he had married her underage, and to me, that was something that, like, wow. to marry her. I think she was like under 18 when R. Kelly married her, but I think society was taking a blind eye at it. There was there was a big buzz, people were talking about it, but not that like they're really, really focusing on it now about the situation with R. Kelly and what's been taking place as far as his sexual behavior. Now, one may argue and say what the man does in his personal life has no effect on, his music. But for me, it does. Because if you are sleeping with young girls that are underage, and obviously they're impressionable because under 18, you really don't you're really just really getting the feel of who you are once you enter into high school, let alone being involved or sexually involved with a man that's way older than you, that's more experienced than you. And now all of a sudden, here you are, you're introduced to this. Not only that, you're introduced to fame, you're introduced to all these things. So it makes one wonder, okay, so why or how, what happened with the parents in this situation where Aaliyah was young? I think that a lot of times they get caught up in the fame of who the person is. And, a lot of times the parents, they work so hard and they take their kids to auditions and different things so that they could become famous. And a lot of them turn their backs on how they became famous, and look at it in that era. R. Kelly, like we're talking about the late 80s, 90s, at this time, R. Kelly was really, really big. So if your daughter's dating R. Kelly, and then also society too, they allow you to get married or they allow girls to get married underage. So somewhere, I'm going to blame society on that one, because if the laws were a little bit stricter as to the age where you could get married, maybe, that might have deterred him. Maybe it might have stopped a lot of the things that was going on with him. But when all of that money is involved, we're talking about millions of dollars and how he helped to have Leah's career flourish, by being with her and, helping produce a lot of her music and things of that nature. That, are you really as a parent going to say something if all of a sudden you go from poverty to being rich and your daughter's famous? Isn't this what you work for? So I'm going to say the parents. I'm going to say society. I definitely blame R. Kelly. I'm not taking anything away from him. Musically, this man is a genius. He's a mastermind. He's awesome as far as being talented musically. But his personal life, that is something that I feel should have been really, really addressed long ago, and not just with this Me Too movement. Um, they're looking to take him from Spotify, from Apple Music. They're looking really, really to really, really take him down. And the hashtag is mute R. Kelly. It's mute R. Kelly is the hashtag that they have right now for everybody that's speaking out against R. Kelly. And I really, really feel like it is catching on now. That it's catching on. I'm really anxious to see what happens or how this unfolds, because I've seen a tweet from Ava DuVernay. And for those of you that don't know about Ava DuVernay, she's a very well acclaimed director right now. And she just did The Wrinkle in Time with, and she's very, very close to Oprah Winfrey. So for me, that's just like Gail. That's just like Gail, um, just like Gail saying something about, um, R. Kelly. So for Ava DuVernay to say something, to me, that's just like Gail saying something. It's definitely something else uh, right now, as I see it, uh, with this that's taking place with this Me Too movement, with this R. Kelly, mute R. Kelly, with the Bill Cosby. Now, it is just definitely something to behold. I'm going to tap into my co-host. I'm going to reach out to her, Towanda Jackson. She's one of my, I have a group. I'm the CEO of Positive Queens. I have a group called Positive Queens. And in this group, I talk about so many different things as far as women are concerned and different issues are concerned. And I'm calling Towanda. I think I hear a hello in the background. Towanda, is that you?
Girl, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. I am so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining Cards on the Table with Queen V tonight. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, girl. I appreciate you.
Listen. Is it you? Did you blow some of that Chicago weather over here to New York? It's freezing out here.
Listen, y'all can have it, okay? Because it's all of 80 degrees right here, and I am so loving this weather right now.
Wow, it's 80. Are you kidding me?
Girl, listen, I have on a tank top and some shorts right now. I'm feeling pretty good.
Wow. I dislike you right now. I have a long sleeve shirt on. I'm shivering. I have a little heater. I call that my little girlfriend because I cuddle up with that heater at night, because it's cheaper for me than to have a man that's no good. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. But it's just cold. But the later this week is supposed to be really, really nice, which means the 70 and, the 80-degree weather. And I just can't wait. So we really need it.
Yeah, y'all can keep the cold weather though, because we've had it way too long. We just had like 54 earlier last week, so I'm ready for these 80s. I'll take it off.
Wow. Okay, so now you got the winter clothes away. Have you really put them away, or you have some in the cut just in case?
Girl, listen, this is the Midwest. We are liable to have snow tomorrow. I still have my coat. I still have my coat out. All of my boots are ready and on deck because we just never know.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you joined me. You can say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I was talking about, this Me Too movement, the Bill Cosby thing, now R. Kelly, Russell Simmons. And it's just really, I'm just so anxious to see this thing unfold because it seems like every week is something else. Like, what is your take on it? How do you feel about this?
Oh my gosh, girl, listen. I have so many different takes on this. Now, I'm going to start with Bill Cosby.
Uh-oh.
For those of us who did not have fathers in the home growing up, that was our TV dad. So we hung on the wings of everything that this man did and said for his family because it worked for them and it looked so good. Now, I'm inclined to believe that he probably slept with a few of those ladies, but I do not believe it was against their will for several different reasons. First reason being, he's Bill Cosby.
That's true.
My second reason is, if I'm going by what I was, hearing in the media and things of that nature, some of those women came to his room or he came to their rooms at crazy hours of the morning, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Did you think you were going to handle business? Like, what do you think was getting ready to happen? So the whole pill thing, I have my intake on that too. I can give you some pills, but it is up to you to put those things in your mouth or put them in the drinks, what have you. I just don't believe that it happened. It just doesn't seem right to me.
Right. Now going back to the wee hours of the morning, I mean, I've been invited to, a couple of hotels or whatever late, but I'm like, no, because automatically I know that if a man pays for a room and he invites you to the room, you're not going to play goldfish. I don't think these ladies thought that they was going to play goldfish or Yahtzee or what have you. They knew what they were going to that room for.
What's the old saying? There's only a couple of things that's open at that time of the morning. Bars and legs.
Oh.
So, that's just my take. Now, Bill Cosby, like the one lady, if I was reading that correctly, I think it said that she was given like $3.38 million. But you still went to the media and tried to bash this man. But you took that money.
Huh. Right. Right.
You took it and you went away for a little while. Did the $3 million? Are you done now? Did you need some more money? Like, what was the point of taking the money if you were just going to come back in the first and say that he did these things? But where's the proof? Who can prove this? These things happened like in the 70s, in the 80s, and the one lady was 2004.
Mhm.
Come on now. Why did it take you to 2018 to bring the stuff to the forefront?
Did she have a memory lapse or something? Maybe she had a memory lapse. I don't know. Maybe she came out of that. Maybe the money just got exhausted. Because $3 million. I mean, if you have a very, very, a high class lifestyle, I don't know about it being lasted. Maybe her money's gone. Now she wants to come out, and they're going to make money off of the books. This is an exclusive.
This man is an old guy. Bill is in his, what, is he 80?
I think, yeah. Old? Yeah.
Come on, really? So you're going to send him to prison now when he's in his later part of his life? Let this man chill. If it happened, you should have went to the authorities back then. Who says that it's okay to wait 30 and now you want to say something? Get out of here. And there's so many women. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think not.
So I guess you and I could say we thought that Bill gave us the eyes through the television, and maybe we can get some money too. I mean, that's how ludicrous it sounds. I thought he was flirting with me with his eyes through the TV. It's the way he looked at me at that Jello pudding pop commercial that just turned me on.
That little episode when he was talking about that barbecue sauce, he had me feeling a little weird there too. Where's my check, Bill?
Yeah, it's just getting crazy right now. And
I just don't think it happened. And that's just my opinion. And if it did happen, I feel sorry for those women. But me, I just don't believe that it happened, because I just don't think that a person in their right frame of mind, fully consensual adults who live their lives perfectly normal thus far, is now going to wait and say, this happened to me. I want this man sentenced in 80 plus years old. Come on, really?
Right. But my thing is this. Did you see some of the women? I'm looking like, is that a man or is that a woman or a woman? I don't even know what to call it. And I'm like, what in the world? Somebody had to be drugged with one of the ladies. I don't even know her name.
Look, her face is very aggressive. I'm not going to say she's unattractive.
She looked like Bruce Jenner. Or Caitlyn, or whatever his name is now.
Strong. Her jaw is super strong. I don't think he could have forced her to do anything she didn't want to do. I'm just saying.
She looked like a Olympic shot put person. Somebody way from, I guess, deep Russia that they trained in the woods somewhere. But anyway,
Let me just say, I don't want to be caught in the dark alley with her. That's all I know.
But I haven't heard anything or anybody say anything about Camille. She always shows up with a smile. We're talking about Bill Cosby's wife. Now she always shows up as with a smile. Yeah. I don't know if did she show up the day that the verdict was, that they charged him being guilty.
Well, if I'm going by the photos that I saw on the internet when they were leaving, I do believe that she was there. And I can say I feel sorry for her, because she's about to lose her husband. That's her other half. She's known that man a long time, and now he's getting ready to go to prison for some stuff that could have been dealt with many, many, many moons ago.
Do you think they're going to throw this man in jail? I mean, 80 years old. What are they really going to get out of him? Because the prosecutor wanted to throw him in jail right then, and they said he made an outburst. They're like, you a-hole, I don't have a jet. They said he's a flight risk and everything else. I mean, really, where's he going to go?
Right, why would he even do all of that? He's Bill Cosby. I feel sorry for him, because they took everything away from this man. All of his accomplishments, all of his accreditation, all of that has been shot to where. And for what?
Yeah.
For what? For some things that haven't even been really proven. These are women that's saying that this stuff happened. Nobody knows what happened in that room but Bill Cosby and whichever lady is willing to come forth and say what happened. Now, he's been on the Cosby Show. There were several women in that TV show.
Beautiful women.
Why had none of them been touched? What makes them any different from the rest of these women?
You're
I'm
right.
just confused by the whole thing. I'm just confused by it all, and I wish they back up off my Bill Cosby
Oh,
because
you.
I love him.
And for
Okay?
some of us that didn't have fathers, well, I grew up with my father, fortunately. But for ladies that didn't have their father, that was like the closest thing, especially African American women, to a father figure that they had. And now all of a sudden, that's gone. That's tarnished now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Wow.
used to watch the Cosby Show and get fashion ideas.
Yeah.
Girl, I used to want me a Gordon Gartrell shirt.
I had dreams of marrying a doctor. Well, that didn't happen, but at least I dreamt that I did. So
And that's what TV shows are supposed to be. They're supposed to give you the think about what your life would be like if that were you. If that were your family, would you have lived your life the same way? I would have loved to be Theo or Denise or
oh
was
yeah.
it Rudy? Girl, please. I would have loved to have that life. Let my father be a doctor and my mama a lawyer. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Now that, Temple University has taken, everything that they've given Bill Cosby, what about giving his money back then? All the thousands of dollars that he spent in Temple University. Will Temple give him his money back, though? Will they give him his
How about
money?
How about no? We'll never hear that. That'll never happen. It just won't happen. It's not gonna happen.
Wow.
Just like I don't think he should go to prison. They probably don't feel like they owe him anything. And to me, he worked hard for all of those things that he accomplished. That wasn't something that he just sat around and waited to come to him. He worked. He put his blood, sweat, and tears in that. So how dare you take any of that away from him? And then they wasted no time taking his TV shows off the air
Oh,
because I used to
yeah.
watch,
Oh yeah, they're gone. They're gone. I just want to. Well, we're gonna look out for. We're gonna see what happens as everything unfolds, and things of that nature. And all I can say is I just really don't think that if they put him in jail, really, what are they gonna get? I guess put him under house arrest, put the ankle bracelet on him, have him to go to certain places. That's it. Period.
Absolutely.
Period. Point blank.
Let that man live the rest of his days in peace.
But they just lost a daughter too.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. I think it's all just crazy. A bunch of bitter old women who are looking for a quick come up on somebody who's. I mean, how many more years do you think Bill Cosby has? He has, according to what I've been reading, a lot of health issues and things of that nature going on. Let that man be.
Right.
Just let him be.
Well,
that's what I think.
No, we'll switch it. And I appreciate what your take on it. And I think we have the same take, but I know there's a lot of women out there. How could they? And how did they say that? But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Now, switching over, Mr. R. Underage marrying women, Kelly. What is your take on that? Because now they're turning up the heat. Because Taylor Swift tweeted that the record label that she shares, they share the same record label, should drop R. Kelly. And now the Me Too movement has joined that. And now they have a hashtag mute R. Kelly, in which Ava DuVernay has joined. And I just saying the close relationship that Ava has with Oprah, and it's just like Gail speaking out against R. Kelly. What do you think will happen with this?
Okay, now we're talking about somebody that I used to love.
Oh, used to. Okay, this is interesting.
I actually walked down the aisle to an R. Kelly song. Have mercy, did I love me some R. Kelly at one point?
Did the marriage last? Oh Lord. My bad.
No. So, from personal experience, just seeing him around our neighborhood and seeing him at like high school functions and things like that, he was very prevalent in the Chicago area. Did not stay hidden away, but he was always looking at the young girls. Now, I can say this. When that whole video came out years ago with him supposedly, urinating on the girl.
Oh, God.
That was not him. The world anything can be digitally altered right now. Anything can be modified and changed. That was not him. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
And the more I followed that story and the more I just followed him as a person, I was starting to second guess myself. Well, Towanda, maybe. And then, as a reason with all of this sex cult stuff and all of this, and the ladies held captive against their will. Now, I'm going to say this. If I didn't know that he had this whole sex cult thing going on, and R. Kelly approached me, and I'm thinking we're going on a date, I can't lie. I probably would have gone for that date, and I probably would have continued to see this man. Now, I know a whole lot of women who have done a whole lot worse for a whole lot less, but I don't think they would have settled for being in some type of sex cult. That's a little extreme, I think.
Yeah. Let me rewind this a little bit. Let's rewind. Really, I know that people are into a lot of things in their bedroom, but let me tell you something. A man urinating on me, I don't even want to go to the bathroom on myself. I experienced that a little bit when I was pregnant. And if I'm in a situation with a man and we're getting intimate, he talking about, can I pee on you? It's over with. You call 911 and everything else because I'm going off. The date is over. He's over. Everything else, y'all come get him or what's left of him for asking me to do something like that. But, there are some people that really, that's their thing.
Now, I'm all for keeping the spice, and I get it. Okay. But I don't think there's ever been anything sexy about somebody peeing on me. And I think the day that ever happens, I'm going to do 5 to 10 somewhere, and there's going to be a man missing a whole lot of skin somewhere, because it is going to be a problem.
So now you feel like you felt that the video was altered. Okay. What about the latest account of the girl just escaping? They were looking for her and she happened to escape out of his home and all of these other things. And also let's really, really talk about the child pornography. That is a whole different type of animal. When you start talking about tampering with kids, I have a no nonsense, there's a no tolerance policy for that. Put him under the jail for something like that. For me, for even adult to watch something like that, you know what I mean? So it makes you wonder.
That's where the table started turning for me too. Now, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt when the video came out. But it seemed like every year was something else, and now the tables was turning for me. I'm thinking, okay, is he really doing this stuff? But then again, like I said, when I would see him out and about, like the same old aura from a long time ago, this man looked like he was a little strange. So I'm starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, he has a problem.
Well,
because it can't be a whole bunch of ladies telling the same lie. You know what I mean? So
wait a minute now. Think about it. There's Bill Cosby. A lot of ladies saying that. You're saying no, they're not. Now you're saying with R. Kelly, there's a lot of ladies.
What I'm saying is these women are together in a cult together with him. So they can prove that they are somewhere with this man at some point because they're supposedly living in the same dwelling as him. So those can be proven. That's why I say I can believe that happened for real.
Oh, okay.
There's no proof that these women were seen with Bill Cosby or what have you, but this whole R. Kelly situation is a little bit odd. And then with the porn and stuff with the kids, that's a whole nother line now.
Oh yeah.
These are okay. To me, 19 years old. Okay, the law said you're grown, but to me, that's still a kid. That's still a kid at 19.
Oh yeah. Because you're still trying to figure out who you are. Exactly. I'm going back to you saying he's not the same aura. You're right. He's not the same aura. It's not Robert. It's rapist Kelly now. Because these girls are saying aura, the aura for rapists. And I say this, his time is up. In his case, his time is up. I loved his music over the years. He's a musical genius. He has an amazing voice. But if it be that all of these things took place, and that he is guilty of these things, and these women are saying it, I say bye. Goodbye, R. Kelly, and good riddance.
And then, too, the lady was saying that he gave her an unspecified STD. Okay, so then there's proof that you slept with this man. Type of DNA that they can prove this, that she's having intercourse with this man. And she can probably lead authorities to the rest of the people who are in this so-called cult and get the ladies out of there if they want to leave.
So you're saying there's still people there, supposedly there in R. Kelly's home? Like,
well,
what?
Supposedly it's a whole cult of women. In order to have a cult, they got to be more than one of them.
Wow.
And then if she's saying that there's some type of STD, let me tell you something. If I go to a doctor and they tell me something that I have that I can't take Tylenol to get rid of,
boy. But you know what? They're probably looking at saying, hey, R. Kelly's this big celebrity. And a lot of people look at people and because of their celebrity status will not have protected sex because they feel they can't catch anything because they are a celebrity.
It was never in my wildest dreams did anybody ever told me that because I am rich, I can't contract this type of nastiness.
Huh.
So, I mean, if there is other women hiding away, locked away somewhere, that should be the woman that can tell the authorities where to go get these women. If they want to leave, let them go. But to me, if you're in a cult, that just seems to me like you're being held under your will. If they classify them as sex slaves or a sex cult, that is crazy to me.
So do you think that it's a matter of time for Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, Tom Brokaw? These are all people that I really like Matt Lauer a lot. Like, you know, him on the news, I will watch because of him. You would look for, you know, Matt Lauer. You would look for Tom Brokaw. These people like that, of that status, what, you know, what do you think is next for these guys? Do you think that they're going to be, you know, tried, you know, as far as R. Kelly, Bill Cosby?
This Harvey Weinstein had somebody coming out every other day almost.
Angela Jolie just spoke up. She just said something today.
Why is he not being tried and arrested and taken away from his family? Why is this man able to still be touch and do whatever he chooses to do to all of these women, and no one is saying anything about it? It's being, oh, he did that, okay, but where's all the hoopla about that? And there was someone coming out almost every other day about this man.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I really honestly feel that he propelled a lot of those women's careers to where they were or where they are, and if it was not for him, we would not hear of all of these these A-list celebrity females that we hear about now. And also with the males, we had one male who was that Terry Crews said him too. I forgot, who did he say touched him?
I'm not sure.
And that takes a lot of courage for a man to say me too. It's like, guy, you really serious? Somebody touched you, Terry Crews, as big as you are. So what, you know, what did you do?
That's even more reason why I think this whole Bill Cosby thing is a fluke. Because what Harvey Weinstein, what he did, he made those women famous.
Oh yeah.
Is that why they didn't say anything until way later? Because who did Bill Cosby make famous out of all of those women he supposedly touched? Is that why they're mad? Because they didn't get the stardom that they thought they would get by sleeping with this man?
But they're still not, because I don't see anything. And even if they do get a book deal, is that going to give them a reality show? Like what? You know, it all depends on the media. It all depends on the media, how much hype they give, how much airtime that they really give to this. But I really feel like, you know, they need to, for those that are guilty, they need to come down on them too. But in the case of Harvey Weinstein, you made all these ladies famous. I would question that. You know that everybody, and you know what the casting couch is. I mean, come on. I'm not saying that Harvey Weinstein's right. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you are not going to read a play 2:00 in the morning, just you and him, and you say, no, it was more like this. Oh, and then it was more like this. Now, come on. And then now you're afraid all of a sudden to say something. But now all of a sudden, now that the Me Too movement is alive and well and it's kicking. It's kicking. Now all of a sudden you say something?
I'm calling bull on it all. If y'all gonna take my Bill Cosby, let me know when they going to get old Harvey. If they need a room for him too. If Bill gets one, he needs one. He needs a suite.
And then we hear about I have to touch this one, but then we hear about Donald Trump and how Donald Trump, but and the difference with Donald Trump. And you know, it's Donald Trump. But my whole thing with his situation is whatever happened in his personal, things are different. There's not all these ladies that's coming out the woodwork saying that Donald Trump did this to them. Donald Trump did that to them. You do have that lady. So for me, my satisfaction is how miserable Melania Trump looks. She is never smiling, and she's always miserable. And then they got him where he tried to hold her hand, and she pulled her hand back. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, people watch every little movement. If the man combs his bang the wrong way, they're watching it. Nope, he got it over to the left yesterday. Now he got it on to the right. That must be a signal. Like, you watching football and the signal is the throw, we're going to do a quarterback sneak if Trump parts his hair on the left or parts his hair on the right. People watch every little thing. So society is crazy right now. I'm wondering what a lot of the men are thinking now that they are having these sexual relationships with these ladies. Do they get consent form signed? Do they install cameras now and start videotaping different things? What protection does the man have if they know this is a consensual, if you're having a consensual sex, and maybe they're afraid of what the woman is going to say? How
you know what I have found? Since this whole Me Too has come about, and in the workplace, even at my office, the men does different now. They don't know what is acceptable. Like a nice comment or compliment can easily be misconstrued as sexual harassment.
Yes.
So say, hey, or your hair is pretty, or you smell nice, because somebody can take that and, oh my God, what did he say? Or what did he mean by that? What is he trying to do? Take a compliment anymore without making it something more than it is.
That's true.
That's sad. It's sad because nobody wants to be at work all uptight. You have to really monitor what you say to people because you don't want them to take something the wrong way. When just yesterday we had a whole conversation about anything. But now that the old Me Too, this thing then birthed a whole new monster. So you can't even talk to people the same anymore. And it's sad. It's sad that we have to live in such a guarded world like this now. It wasn't like this before. You can give a compliment. Women can compliment other women. Men can compliment women. And you can just compliment anybody. You should be able to just do that. That's called being polite, being nice.
I was saying this the other day. I know how I'm going to become a billionaire. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come up with condoms that have consent forms already in them. I'm going to put it in the box. So you don't have to worry about going nowhere to get this drawn up, going to Staples or where have you, and getting a consent sign form. You say, baby, you got the condoms? Yup. And you just take out the box, open the box up, and pull out the consent form, have us sign it, and then do what you got to do. I'm gonna be a billionaire. I got it. You went on it. You want in on this? We're gonna break Wall Street.
They're looking at us like, what is this?
I'm joking, but it's this is really crazy right now with everything that you see nowadays. A lot of people afraid to date. So what does a person that's single like me do now? Men might not even want to talk to me. Is she gonna say me three?
Right. You just have to be careful because I'm giving everybody the stink eye now.
I'm
giving everybody the stink eye. What? What are you saying? What are you looking at? Excuse me. Hello, I'm up here. You just got to be careful nowadays because you just don't know people's angles, and you don't want to see everything through negative eyes. But the way that the world is going now, you just have to be careful with every single thing.
I say, just like the show said, you just put your cards on the table right at the beginning. Put your cards on the table right there. Let it be known. And, it is what it is. But I just say, you think you're a pretty good judge of character with people, and then it turns out not to be the way that you thought they would. You find yourself in a whole world of trouble. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just hope that, for me, it's going to be interesting to see how many more people, because it's like people are coming, especially the men, out of the woodwork. Here, these men, all these different men, the high profile A-list men are now their cards are being put out on the table, ruining homes. I mean, destroying whole families now.
Absolutely. My whole wish and pray for all of this stuff is if things are happening like that to you, don't wait to say something. If it's happening to you right now, you say something right now. If you're taking off, then that door wasn't meant for you to walk through. If these things are the things that you have to go through to get another door open down the road, this one is just not for you. If you have to do some things that you're not comfortable with, or if somebody is touching you inappropriately and you know that it's not right, just because you want to move to the next stage in life, maybe you got to go through it a different way.
Oh, yeah. And 20 years, that's a long time to read. I'm trying to figure out what I was doing 20 years ago. 20 years, that's a long time to try to recall something. Maybe, you know what? Maybe in Bill's defense, he thought the lady was sick and maybe he dropped a couple of Alka-Seltzers and she thought they was Quaaludes. I don't know. I don't know. But
I don't know exactly what a person, whatever Quaalude is. I'm not.
I thought it was a math problem.
Listen, what's that?
A Quaalude? What you mean, like what is it, a quadrangle or whatever? A Quaalude? What is that? Yeah.
Okay, so if it's dropped in your drink, does it fizz? Like, how do you know? Like, what's in there? Like, does it just dissolve right away in your drink? So you can't tell me you didn't see it?
Or taste it. Wouldn't you taste the difference? See, if I have a drink, I'll taste if there's not too much alcohol. Listen, you're going to have to put a little more alcohol in here because I'm not tasting. This don't taste like no, just anything. No. You know, you order Hennessy and Coke. I want a Hennessy if you could put some more in here because I don't taste it. Hennessy and Coke. No.
If I'm going to drink any liquor, I need to feel it going. Feel like I'm drinking juice or something. Let me know what's going on. But if somebody put some type of medicine or anything, any type of drug in your drink, I do believe that you would be able to taste it. Vitamins even have a taste.
Oh yeah. Flintstone chewables have a taste.
Most terrible taste, but I would eat them like they was candy. Because my mama said if I took them, I was going to grow up to be strong. Okay.
Oh my goodness! Another thing is, wouldn't you so wouldn't you be off if you took a Quaalude? So how could you account for everything that happened if you had a Quaalude? If you were under the influence, how do you know exactly what happened?
Exactly.
You know
exactly. And then the one lady said when she came to, was on top of her. Really? Okay.
With his Jello pudding popping. All right. I'm not gonna
right. Okay.
Oh boy, I tell you what, this world is just something else. So it'll be this today, and then it'll be something else tomorrow. I want to see if any men come forward though and say that women have been sexually harassing them, because women do that. They do come on to men to get what they want. And I want to see if any men in Hollywood are going to come forward. But I think that a lot of men maybe wouldn't, because for me, it would probably threaten their masculinity.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that it would make them seem soft or something like that. But if it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't care if it's done by a man or a woman. If it shouldn't happen, it just shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And if it is happening, you should not wait 20, 30 years before you say something. If it happened yesterday, I'm on the phone right now. I didn't want to tell it yesterday because I was scared, but I'm all right today.
Listen,
who do I need to talk to?
It wouldn't have took me 20 years, because if it was something I was going to do, like a scandal or to try to come up with some money, I'm not going to be broke for 20 years and all of a sudden I want to be rich. I'm trying to get rich right there. I'm going to be rich 20 years ago, not trying to get rich 20 years later. Like
Exactly. Because I just struggled a whole lot. And you mean to tell me that I could have been paid all this time ago? Yeah, okay. No, not happening.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. At least OJ is probably saying, at least they ain't talking about me now. The heat is off me, because it was OJ for a minute.
He was sitting there like, woo, I thought they were never going to stop talking about me. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Donald Trump.
There was a meme up, and I think it had Bill Cosby on the phone. The internet is undefeated. It had Bill Cosby on the phone, and then it had OJ on the phone, and Bill Cosby was making a phone call to OJ saying, "You next." I said, I said, this internet right here. I said, I can't. I said, I just can't. It's like, who comes up with these types of things? Like, are you serious? And then they had something about Bill, and then they had something with Jello pudding pops, and they said now they're going to be putting my ass in jail. I said, oh my God, they just really. I said it's definitely, definitely something else. So we'll see how everything unfolds as the time comes along. Hey, you're coming to New York soon for my book.
Girl, yes,
my book signing.
Yo, I will be there. The first day you told me about it, I went straight to my boss. Okay, sir, so I'm gonna need this day off, and this day off, and this day off. We got to make this happen because I got things to do.
Awesome. We're gonna be on the top of the Hilton Hotel in the heart of Times Square. I just cannot wait. I'm so excited. And then you just found out that you're going to be hosting.
Oh, listen, I was just reading it. I'm like, okay.
You came highly recommended. Like I said, who's going to host? Who are we going to have a host? Because I wanted Melba Moore chimed in to the live feed that I was doing the other day, and it was so good to see Melba Moore. She's out there right now, and she's doing a lot of okay, we got to wrap up. The producer says it's almost time, but it just seems like I just enjoy you, Towanda Jackson, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully maybe we'll be able to get you back next week. Let me know on Monday. I'd love to hear from you. We'll continue our conversation or whatnot, but I appreciate you taking your time out for joining Cards on the Table Radio with Queen V. All right, well, thank you so much, and we will speak to you guys later. Say bye to everyone. All right, thank you so much, Towanda. Have a blessed night.